But I would say it was about $88,000 net profit was my biggest return on a mobile home. Every single home that I got into, I've made money on because I've made sure to get it for a very low price point and I've made a decent return on all of them. Bought that for $3,500. They wanted $45,000 for it. So I can close within one day. It's a title transfer. They hand me the title, I bring it to the DMV or the title company, and that's it. If you have a roadmap and a blueprint that other people are following and other people are getting results in, you can do it too, but you just have to be the one to do it.
The guy I have on the show today just crushes it in the mobile home space. So makes a ton of money on trailers. Crazy. Getting into mobile home parks. We're going to get into all that kind of stuff, how you can actually diversify and make money on mobile homes. Without further ado, George Wojar de Cuatro.
The Quattro.
the fourth.
Quattro.
He's not Spanish, but I am, so I'm throwing that in. Dude, how are you, bro?
Good,
Welcome
man.
to the show.
Thank you. That was a great intro.
Thank you.
You got it.
Thank you. I had to come right, man.
You did.
You deserve
You
it.
brought it.
So, welcome to the show, man. Let's get right into it. Mobile homes. Why mobile homes?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I first heard of mobile homes, I thought the same thing. But I was looking into real estate and trying to figure out what that path was for me in real estate. I had a business prior to that, and I decided to take a step away from that business. It was an online business because it just wasn't fulfilling anymore. And I knew I wanted to get into real estate. I wanted to create passive income with real estate. And I tried different things. I tried wholesaling. That wasn't getting me what I wanted. Looked into multifamily homes. I'm like, that's not going to get me to where I want at all. I can't quit or move on to this business and make a full-time income. And then, as fate had it, I met a man. I was introduced to him for something else that he was doing. It was called Junior Achievements. They wanted me to be like the face of it and speak on it. And the next week, we were going to the same event. And I was sitting with him. On the right-hand side of me was the guy who owns the rights to Think and Grow Rich. And the left-hand side of me was this guy who was worth $800 million. And he got off the phone and he said, I'm going to sell, I was just talking to a broker and I'm going to be selling my mobile home parks for $168 million. I'm like, mobile home parks? Really?
For $168 million.
Milski, yes.
Wow. So that perked
my attention. I'm like, all right, tell me more.
For sure.
And I just started learning from him. And I asked him how I can get into the park space. He's like, get started with homes. There's a very high demand for that. There's no one in this business model. So he started teaching me and started taking me through the game of mobile homes. And I dove straight in.
Love it. Love it. So you've been doing that now for how long?
Since 2017. So about 6 years, 5-6 years.
Got it. Okay. So you've learned a ton, obviously. You've probably been kicked in the teeth more times than you'd like to admit.
A few times.
And not just the teeth, probably in the gonads a few times.
Yes,
in the old jewels.
A few times.
We're going to make sure to keep this clean, so no cursing for the peoples.
I'll try.
So, but yeah, so let's talk about some setbacks, some failures that you had early on, 2017.
Yeah. So the biggest things, like every single home that I got into, I've made money on because I've made sure to get it for a very low price point and I've made a decent return on all of them. I would say the biggest things that I learned is to not trust the seller because they might be lying to you. One of the homes, I think it was the second home that I had, we bought it. The guy said he just lived in it, but the toilets were all like crusted over and everything. So it showed that no one lived in it at all. He said he lived in it. He was moving. Air conditioning was good. Just needed a part for it. Everything was good to go. We turned on that mobile home and water was just shooting out everywhere from underneath it. All the pipes were busted. Everything was cracked.
Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. Air conditioning unit. He's like, you just need a piece for it. I didn't know to check it. You took the cover off and there's nothing under it. So there's nothing there. We had to pay for a brand new AC unit and everything.
And you're like, what,
23 at that point?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it for $1,400 though, so I knew that there was still profit on it.
$1,400.
I paid his taxes that he owed.
Guys, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, man, I want to get into real estate, cost of entry, that's the barrier usually, is you've got to have some money.
Yeah.
Unless you're
100%.
wholesaling, you can lock up a contract, sell your place in that contract to an end buyer, and generally speaking, you just have your earnest money deposit.
Mm-hmm.
I've put as little as $100 down on a wholesale deal before.
Yeah.
But if you want someone to know you're serious with wholesale, you got to put up some like earnest money of like $5-10 grand sometimes to let them know you're serious. But guys, listen to what he just said. $1,400 to own a home.
Yes.
It might be a mobile home.
It's a mobile home, but
it's
it makes
a home.
money still, yeah.
So, sorry, I just had to interject. So,
No, you're good.
$1,400.
So that one was $1,400. I've gotten several deals. $1,500, $1,400, $3,500. Just got a deal last week that I partnered on, got them down to $3,000. For that specific deal, I knew I got it for $1,400. I got it for a great price. I knew I was going to be able to sell it for at least $30K plus. So while there were those headaches and hiccups and different things of that sort, and the guy that I had that was doing the pipes, he didn't know what he was doing with the piping underneath. He'd fix one pipe and then it would bust somewhere else. He'd fix one, bust somewhere else. And I was actually in Costa Rica for a week while that was happening. So just extremely stressful. Like I shouldn't have gone here. But we made money on that. That was honestly the biggest setback with the mobile home. Other than that, I know what I'm looking for. They're very simple models looking at mobile homes. It's not like a single family home where this could be wrong or that could be wrong and you don't see it. They're very basic and very easy to see. And I always make sure I get it for a price point that I will be making great money on it regardless.
Got it. So you talked on just real quick going to Costa Rica. You love to travel, as do I. So we're going to touch on that a little later.
Perfect.
How you can travel and still crush it. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But let's talk about, like, you get a deal for, let's say, $1,500. So you bought this mobile home for $1,500. What typically can you sell that mobile home for? And then how much are you into it? Let's talk about that.
So we'll talk about that deal specifically. Actually, let's go back to my first deal. I bought it for $3,500.
Okay.
All right, bought that for $3,500. They wanted $45,000 for it.
And you got them at a $3,500.
I got it down to $3,500.
Okay.
They see the pain.
Master negotiator, apparently, too.
For sure. They see the pain of paying lot rent every single month in it. We're going after off-market motivated sellers. Like, that's the name of the game here.
Right.
This lady that I bought it from, it was her mom's, passed it down to her. She's been living in Florida for a year. She's just paying lot rent of $650 every month. So, like, that's the pain that she sees. We're about to go into potentially another winter with that home. She was going to go into that. She wanted $45,000 for it. I let her know I could pay $10,000. She said, okay, I'm not interested at all. Totally cool. Follow up with me if anything comes up, if you're interested. She calls me back a month later, asked me if that was still on the table. I said, yes, let me go take a look at it. Took a look at it, $7,500, because there was a few things that were wrong with it. She accepted the offer. I go there and we turn on the water. Another one, got to look out for those pipes for these mobile homes. I go there, turn on the water starts shooting out underneath the home. The neighbor, and this was my first one, I'm like, I don't know how to deal with this. The neighbor came over. She's like, my yard last winter was full of ice. Like, it's horrible. And I'm like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, this is crazy. I don't know what I'm getting into.
You're like this 23-year-old kid at the time. You're like, oh, God.
This is a lot.
What did I do?
Exactly. So I called her and I'm like, your pipe's busted. She's like, I know. She knew it was busted. So I said, the best I can do is $3,500. I don't even want it at this point. She was like, fine. Okay. So she accepted $3,500. Actually had the maintenance guy come take a look at the pipe to see what was wrong with it. And I didn't know, but it was something extremely simple. I paid him $25. He twisted something in the bottom. It was good to go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good to go. For that home, I was all in at $6,000. Bought it for $3,500, all in $6,000. I sold it for $52,000.
Oh, dude, so it didn't need much work.
Didn't need much at all. No.
Wow.
It was beautiful looking.
Wow.
Sold it for $52,000. Now this one, and this is a lot of the model that I follow, is selling it on seller financing.
Okay.
So I bought it for $35,000, sold it for $52,000. The buyer put a down payment of $7,000. I'm all in $6,000. So I'm already in the green $1,000.
Beautiful.
And they were paying me $652 on that one, I believe, per month until the home was paid off for the next like 72 months or something of that
Is there
sort.
interest involved in that?
That one, the first few I didn't put interest on. I didn't know how to work interest. It was overwhelming for me. I'm like, let me just throw it in there and get the payments for it.
Got it.
And I become the bank and not the landlord. Like, I am the bank. I'm financing. I'm the mortgage company. I tell them if anything happens to the home on the contracts as well, it's sold as is. You don't contact me for anything. So then moving forward, after we sell it, I receive the payments every single month until the home's paid off for the next 6 to 7 years.
And then title goes to them.
Title goes to them afterwards.
Got it.
Yeah.
You hold title until then.
Sometimes I hold it on my name, or sometimes I become the lien holder on title.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Depends the park.
Guys, really cool what he just covered. Think about this. If you've been following me for any time, you know that I talk about infinite banking, becoming the bank. That's what he was doing before he even knew he was doing it.
Yep.
He was becoming the bank in his own life. And funny enough, he saw me on a Instagram reel or something on TikTok maybe. And I was talking about becoming the bank. He's like, oh, that sounds good. And he ended up doing infinite banking policies with me. And now he uses those to just turbocharge this business. So we can touch on that if you want to
For
later.
sure, 100%.
But crazy, bro. So you bought a house for $3,500. She wanted $45,000, right?
Yes.
You got it for $3,500, all in $6,000. And then you got $7,000 as a down payment from the buyer. So this is seller finance, guys. If you have not heard about it, this is Crash Course 101. He got $7,000 from the actual buyer. That covers all of his that he's into it. $1,000 he's in the green. And now since it's a seller finance, he owns the property for $6,000.
Not the landlord, no management, nothing.
He's selling it to this person and they're paying him $650 a month. He's not a landlord. He doesn't have to do anything but just collect $650 a month. That is true passive income. True passive income.
Yes. And that was what I was looking for, true passive income.
And now you're probably tacking on interest onto that, right? So you're getting interest on those payments as well. And then here's the crazy part. What happens if they stop making payments?
It's so interesting because I have not had a single buyer stop making payments. We vet them. The parks vet them. They look, parks that I work in, they look for a 625, 650 credit score. We make sure everyone's vetted. These buyers as well, they're putting down a down payment, a sizable down payment. So like they're committed and they have a buyer's mentality, not a renter's mentality. And this is something that a lot of people think when they think of the mobile home industry is like the buyers aren't going to pay. No, they're committed. They're homeowners. This is like their last, quote unquote, last resort for them. Like this is their last way of owning a home. They don't want to go back to an apartment. They don't want to pay a lot of money for an apartment, hear people. Like that's why they moved to a mobile home. I have not had a single person during all of the pandemic. There was one person who was a week late and that was it. Other than that, I haven't had anyone stop making payments.
Which is great. But think about this, guys. If he is the lien holder on title, or if he has the title and they're just making payments to him and they stop making payments, I'm sure you have a contract in place. If they stop making payments, guess what he can do?
We get the home back.
Get the home back. Don't have to return their down payment. Like if you make a down payment on a house and you buy it from a bank on a traditional loan and you stop making payments, do they have to give you your down payment back? No. They can take the collateral, which is the house. So you being the bank, you could take that property back and guess what? Get another down payment.
Yep, you resell, you get another down payment and
it's
continue
incredible.
the process. Yeah.
God,
I haven't experienced that part of it yet. Blessingly, but that's the process.
Yeah. And God willing, you don't have to because you don't want to put someone on the street. But the fact of the matter is when you are the bank in your own life, you have control. And control is what you can ask any wealthy person. Control is the biggest aspect to wealth. Ask anybody. The more control you have, the less risk you have. Right?
100%.
So I love it, dude. And one thing you guys need to really take from this is the space he's in for mobile homes is affordable housing. We can get into like how the middle class is like dwindling and the wealth gap is becoming crazy. But I'm a firm believer that the middle class is going to be erased. It's going to be the wealthy or the poor. And what that means is people can't afford a house anymore, right?
That's what we're seeing over the last year to 2 years. That's been the trend. People with good jobs, people with nice cars, like they're the ones that are moving to the mobile home parks now. Now there's parks along the coast that's always been the case, but they're moving to like the basic mobile home parks at this point in time. I just sold one last month for $127,000 all cash. They sold their home. They didn't want to pay taxes. They didn't want to deal with that. They wanted to move to a mobile home park.
Yeah.
So it's the trend is shifting, and like you said, the middle class is dwindling. There's a huge demand for affordable housing, and it's going to continue to rise. And people are moving in flocks to these mobile home parks.
Yeah. So guys, listen and pay attention. Rewind. Share this with your friends. If you want to really build wealth, you have to be an owner of things. You have to own things so that you can build equity, whether it's a business, whether it's a property. Right now, it's harder to do single family homes because they're just unaffordable for most people. Like they just are, right? Like we've got properties out here in Phoenix that a couple of years ago, they were like $400,000. Now they're like 1.1 million.
Crazy.
Insane.
Crazy.
And with interest rates of 7%, people can't afford that payment.
Yeah.
Right? So like
and even
mobile homes, people can afford it.
Competition is insane.
Yeah.
Even if you are, I would put in a bid on a house for personal reasons on a house, 32 offers in one day, $100,000 over asking price. It's crazy.
And you don't have that problem with mobile homes,
No,
right?
not at all.
Hardly any competition, right?
Now, because we're doing off-market motivated sellers, if it was on the market and it was listed, there would be some more competition.
Got it.
But because we're sourcing these off-market, we're becoming the go-to people for these mobile home parks, we're getting these deals brought to us. And if it is an off-market listing, I know how much I can offer. And let's say it's a little lower than what I think it should be. I'll offer that right away. So I let them know because you have to be approved by the communities. I'm already approved by the communities. That's another thing. We can close tomorrow. And literally mobile homes are considered vehicles if they're in a park. So I can close within 1 day. It's a title transfer. They hand me the title. I bring it to the DMV or the title company, and that's it.
A lot faster.
A lot faster.
So what's the biggest things that someone who's never done a mobile home, what should they look at? Obviously pipes.
Pipes right? Underneath the home.
Like what are the biggest things people need to look at?
Look at the age of the mobile home.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If you're selling it if the buyer wants to get financing, let's say you want to sell it for all cash, banks typically only loan on mobile homes that are...
I think it is 76.
Yeah, it varies, yeah. Also look for pipes. Look at the roof. Big things. Roof. Windows can be costly, so just make sure. Add it up. Work into your budget. Soft spots in the floors, those are basic to fix. The furnace, the water heater, all those main things, because those are going to be more costly. The repairs and remodel of a mobile home... I had an entire mobile home gutted and completely redone for $25,000, like completely redone within 26 days.
Wow.
Now, if I needed to repair the water heater, if I needed to repair the furnace, if I needed to do all that, it would have been a higher price point because those things are expensive. And for a mobile home and for what we're buying them for, a water heater can cost more than what I purchased some of my mobile homes for. So just look out for those as well.
So big ticket items, water heater, AC, roof, what else?
Pipes.
Really,
those are the main things. Water heater, pipes, yeah. AC units, if they have AC units.
Okay. And
furnaces.
Then, so outside of just that, then if someone's looking at a property that's on land or in a park, what are the differences there people need to look out for?
So on land, that's typical real estate. So it's going to be that same real estate process. In a park, it's considered personal property. So completely different. The entire process is different. That's why we can close within 1 day. Like I go to these homes, look at them, I close the next day on them.
Because they're renting that space.
They're renting the land, yeah, inside of the mobile home park. So you have to be approved by the mobile home park. There's always going to be a lot rent. Make sure you're clear on what that is.
Because that can kill the deal.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
If it's on a cash flow basis, right?
Potentially. They're paying the park separate from what they're paying me.
Got it. Okay.
Always. So I have 2 separate payments. So I look at what the 2-bedroom apartment rent is or the 3-bedroom apartment rent is, and I make sure that we can cash flow. If the park's $600 per month, and it's $1,800 or let's say $1,500 per month rent, I know that I have a spread there where I can make monthly payments on that.
Got it.
So just looking out for that, yeah. Out of a park, it's typical real estate. So that's going to be that same process. If someone's looking to get a loan inside of a park on a mobile home, only specific companies they can get it from. Personal property loan, it's going to be about 11 to 15% right now is what they're looking for. So just be aware of that. Be aware of what you can sell it for. Be aware of what you're buying it for. Be aware of what the park that you're purchasing it in. Make sure it's a quality park.
Yeah.
If it looks like it belongs on cops, don't buy a mobile home in that park.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah.
I have made that mistake. But you learn from your mistakes, right?
100%.
Or hopefully you would hope you learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
So let's talk about that then. What's kind of the biggest failure you've had? You've made money on all the deals you said, right?
Yeah.
But was there something that happened where you thought you were going to make X amount and you only made Y amount?
That was something that led me to the mobile home space. Prior to getting into mobile homes, that happened. I invested $65,000 into a single family flip, and I have not seen that money since. And it's been about 8 years.
Someone just steal it, or
he just the deal didn't work out.
Oh, wow.
And it was a good friend of mine as well at that point in time.
Quote unquote friend.
Quote unquote, yeah. I learned a lot from that business deal. I learned contracts need to be signed. I have to have a lien on the property. So that was the biggest thing, and that was another driver to get me into mobile homes. I'm like, I put so much money up there, and it's gone. Yeah. I don't want to be doing that. That was a huge risk.
Yeah. Well, you didn't lose 65 grand. You had a $65,000 lesson.
Exactly.
Right?
It was an expensive mentor.
Oh my gosh, dude. So guys, I've lost money one time in real estate. Twice, but the first time was like a couple $1,000. Both times I learned from it. So first thing was I lost a couple grand because we bought on the wrong side of a canal, and we didn't walk the property. It was sight unseen. Everything on the other side of the canal was just these beautiful homes, little cute, 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes selling for like $325. Our place we got for like $150. I'm thinking, doesn't need that much work. It's small, a lot of spread. I'm gonna crush it. our side of the canal was like you needed a bulletproof vest. Dude, it was rough.
So close yet so far.
Yeah, so just that little canal, if I would have drove it, I would have seen like this is rough. These aren't comparable. There's ones over here in this nice little cute neighborhood. The second time I lost $90,000.
Wow.
And it's because I sent wire instructions over email. Lesson learned.
Don't do that.
Never do that. So whenever those wire instructions come now, I call and verify that I'm actually speaking with the person at escrow, because what happened was the email got hacked.
Wow.
So what I thought was the actual escrow officer was sending the wire instructions, routing account number. It wasn't them.
So it was someone else that you were sending it to entirely.
Someone else. And like, dude, once we found out, which was like 7 days later, dude, the account was closed. Like they're nowhere to be found. 90 grand, poof, gone.
It burns when you lose that.
Dude, it hurt.
It does. I mean, I lost another $40,000 in crypto. I thought I was someone who was trading it for me, the legit website and everything, trading the money for me, showed me the ticker of it going up. I had another friend who was doing it, and he was able to get his money back out. So we're like, we're good, because they knew he was putting more in. I put it in. He calls me, or he texts me. He's like, yo, is this site not working for you? I'm like, it's not working for me either. I was actually on my way to Vegas to go to a mobile home park conference. And I'm on that flight, and I look at it. I'm like, and I had a feeling about it going into it. Like, it's gone.
Trust that gut.
It's gone. Yes.
Trust that gut
For
feeling.
sure.
Dude, so good. So guys, again, mobile homes that you can make some great money off of them. Like your returns are ridiculous, right?
They are.
Like what's your biggest return? Cash on cash.
Cash on cash return. So my biggest one, trying to think. 3,500, 52,000, 35,000, sold it for 127,000. Some of them, like I made a 500% return on one of them. Throwing the infinite banking concept inside of there, I mean, the returns are crazy. But I would say it was about $88,000 net profit was my biggest return on a mobile home.
88,000 net, and you were into it how much?
35 into it.
Got it. So great return.
Bought it for 12. That was another one. They wanted 45. Got it for 12.
Great return.
Put 25 into it.
So here's the crazy thing, guys. Those returns are ridiculous. And he's learned from me that if you just simply change where the money goes first, those returns get stupid.
You blew my mind when we were on the phone and you told me that. I was like, wow.
So guys, I'll break it down for you really quick, and then we'll get back to some freaking amazing stuff about your ayahuasca trip. Crazy, right? We'll get into things with your dad. We'll get into like that struggle and how you've overcome all that stuff. We'll get into you not having sex for 5 years.
5 years.
No alcohol. Like, I don't know how you didn't implode. So we'll get into all that stuff. But let's take, for instance, guys, if you have, let's say, a mobile home, if you can buy it for $10,000 and then you bought it, you sell it for $50,000, you make a $40,000 profit. What's the return on that? That's a 400% return, right? 10 grand, you turn it into 50 grand. If you simply put that 10 grand into a high cash value whole life insurance policy first, that 10 grand is compounding tax free at, let's say, about 5%. So you're making 5%, you borrow against the 10 grand. You don't use the 10 grand, you borrow against it. You're getting a loan from the insurance company. You're using their money, not yours. So you borrow 10 grand, right, to go buy the mobile home. All you're paying is interest to the insurance company, 5% interest. So if you do the math on that, that would be $500, right? If it took you a year to do the deal.
Yeah, if you took your year.
It's not going to take you a
30
year.
days is what we're looking for. That's the target.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you really want to talk about it, 500 divided by 12 would be $60. That's how much you'd pay in interest for 1 month to borrow 10 grand from the insurance company. So you turn $60 into $50,000.
Insane.
What's that return? That's like
mind blowing. That's
like
what it is.
That's like a 10,000% return by changing one thing.
Yeah.
And it's just where the money goes first.
It's insane. It is. Truly, once when you told me that, I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Crazy part is that's the first year.
Yeah.
Because every year you can borrow more because your money never stopped compounding. So that same deal at year like 10, dude, it would be like a 200,000% return.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
It's crazy. And that's why I'm now lending that money on other mobile home deals and investing with other people who are doing mobile homes. I'm like, look at how my money just like the return on it is insane. Let me put it to use everywhere, not just on my deals, but on their deals, on their deals.
So you're lending now?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best way to do it. That's like all I do now.
Yeah.
I just lend the money for my policies.
It's a beautiful thing. And I'm doing it specifically on mobile homes right now at this point in time because I know that business model. I know what I'm doing.
Hell yeah. You know what to look for. You know if it's a good deal. So I love it.
Yeah.
So cool. So that's kind of how you can implement infinite banking into anything to really turbocharge the returns. So one thing we didn't touch on, and I think people can get a ton of value from this, if they're listening to this and they're thinking, I think I could do some mobile home parks. I've got some money. It doesn't cost much for the entry to them. I don't really know exactly what to do. Tell them how you can help.
So we have our whole entire training platform where we're teaching you the ins and outs, A through Z of mobile home investing. Then we also have partnership opportunities, which I just mentioned, me loaning money on deals and different things of that sort. If you go to mobilehomesuccess.com/training, that's where we have our training and everything, break it all down. And if you're interested, then reach out, Instagram, send me a message, anything of that sort, George Wohar 4, and go from there with it. And that was one of the biggest reasons why, I know you're asking like, what was my biggest failure with mobile homes? Like, I really haven't had failures because I was learning from my mentor and I was learning from others as well in the industry. And I made sure after my failures prior to that and just being in personal development and understanding the power of learning from others, I made sure that I was working on deals and asking the questions and making sure I was getting into deals that actually made sense and I knew weren't going to burn me or I wasn't going to have a big failure on. Like I made sure of that because I was learning from someone else's trial and error. That mentor owned over 1,000 mobile homes. So
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've made the mistakes.
Yes.
So they know what to not do. And then you can ask them and they say, no, don't do that. Guys, I had my mentor on a few weeks ago, Templeton Walker. If you have not listened to that pod, go check it out. Amazing. So many like life tips and everything are dropped on that. Maybe we can put a little link up in the top if you're watching this. Jacob the Wizard on the editing can do that for you. But so listen to that one because he talks about the fact that you don't have to like really know everything up front. Someone else does, right? So learn the recipe, then you can put your hot sauce on it, right? But until you know the recipe, you're gonna overcook stuff.
Yes.
Things are gonna come out burnt, right?
Know the recipe, put it into place, make sure you create what they want you to create. Then you can add some icing to the top of it or anything else you want to do, but follow that recipe first.
Then you can add your sauce.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out that because Temp talks about that. Like, figure out the recipe, then add your sauce. Make it your own. Add your own little spice to it.
Yep. Investing in yourself and investing in things of this sort. It's like, the initial thing that you have to get over is like the belief in yourself. If you have a roadmap and a blueprint that other people are following and other people are getting results in, you can do it too, but you just have to be the one that do it.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone that joins us, I can't save you. I'm not here to save you. We can guide you, we can lead you, but I am not saving you. I can't do the work for you. You have to have some belief in yourself. And obviously we dive into mindset and different things, that sort as well. But you have to have that initial belief in yourself to make that initial commitment. Right. And then once you do, now you step into a whole new version of yourself.
Right.
You release that comfort zone that you were in. You stepped over that cliff. Now it's go time. Now you open yourself up to endless possibilities.
Love it. Yeah, I can tell people are like on the treadmill, the Stairmaster, they just bumped it up a few notches. I love your energy, bro. I think that's why I always just like chatting with you because your energy is always on point.
I appreciate that.
So people are running like crazy on the treadmill if that's what they're listening right now.
I work on my energy, so I appreciate that.
I love it, dude. So guys, remember what he said is like you have to invest in yourself. Like so many people want to become wealthy. So many people want to become rich and all this stuff, but you ask them to buy a program for $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, $10,000. They're like, oh, I can't do that. Then you'll never be wealthy or you'll never be successful because you'll get into a deal and you'll fall flat on your face and you'll lose money. And then what's the likelihood you ever try again?
Yes.
0.
Exact. Trial takes time and error can be deadly is one quote that I love as well.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I live by that. I'm investing everything I do. I make sure we're learning from someone who has done it already, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to fail.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too much time either.
Yeah. Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
That's why you reached out to the GOAT of
Exactly.
infinite banking.
100%. That's why.
I just coined myself the GOAT. It's okay. Let's talk about a little bit of like pre-investment George Wohar de Cuatro.
Okay.
So let's talk about like college days. Or no, let's go back further, dude. Let's talk about like your upbringing with your dad and like how that kind of shaped you.
Perfect. Yeah. So growing up, my parents got divorced when I was younger. My dad was in and out of jail and on drugs. And while to a lot of people that can be something that's horrible, to my mom's perspective, that was horrible, but it caused me to be who I am today. When I saw my dad doing those things in the past, and my dad actually, we have a great relationship. He works for me now, my main head contractor. So it's incredible, full circle. But when I
can see like the expression on your face even changes when you talk about it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's awesome. But when I saw him going through that and doing that, I knew that I did not want to experience that at all. I knew I wanted a life that was complete opposite. I wanted to take responsibility. I wanted to be in control. I wanted to just be responsible for my life and to be able to put on for the people around me instead of disappoint them. So it really woke me up and really shaped me. And that was when I was from 10, 12, 15 years old. Like I didn't talk to my dad for an entire year, but that also led to me then diving in. Now my freshman year of college, I always had a entrepreneur mindset. I always wanted to create things. I was building businesses, doing things from 12 years old on, breaking leaves, had a lawn care business, everything of that sort. And then post college, my freshman year of college, I was partying, joined a frat, just going crazy, drunk every single night pretty much. After that, after my freshman year, my sophomore year is when I woke up, I stopped doing that. Living in a frat house, didn't party at all. Not at all.
Wow.
I almost completely stopped drinking alcohol at that point in time. Got into fitness. Every Sunday I was making my meals, 6 meals a day. So I'd make like 56 meals or something of that sort, maybe a little less, every single Sunday in the kitchen in the frat house. And then I started diving deeper into like the personal development side of things because I knew I wanted to take control. I knew I wanted to be in control of my life, and it shaped me so much that I wanted to help other guys do that as well. So my first online business, my second one, my first one was I was doing fitness training and stuff. Leading into that led to, it was called Power and Purpose. And it was helping men step into a higher version of themselves. And this was back in 2013, 2014. Because I knew that I wanted other men to be able to take responsibility for their lives. I wanted other men to be able to create the world around them the way that they desire versus being victims to it, which I saw my dad at that point in time being a victim to life. It just put me on this journey of personal development, this journey of growth. I honestly don't know where I would be if I didn't experience that. And we were talking earlier about like the chaos, right? Sometimes we have to experience chaos in our lives in order to become creators, in order to become greater, in order to become those next level versions of ourselves. That's what it did for me.
Dude, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, we could go for hours. Like, honestly, there's so many things about like your upbringing and the way you look at things that I can draw a connection on how I am. Mm-hmm. So, dude, we could go for hours. Yeah. We can't, unfortunately. But the whole thing with your dad, like you would see him do drugs.
Yes.
Like what kind of drugs?
I mean, one night I woke up, only one time, like I never saw it all the time, but I remember waking up one night and just seeing him smoking something. I didn't know what it was. Some type of pipe, not exactly sure exactly what it was.
Might have been some sticky icky, might have been some real rough stuff.
Might have been something, but I was probably 10 years old at this point in time. I wake up and I see that, and it was just so daunting to me. And one time I remember driving through and he was going to go pick something up, and I'm driving through like the hood and didn't love it. It wasn't a good experience for me at all.
Yeah.
It just really shaped me in seeing that and just knowing, and it wasn't even necessarily seeing it, but just knowing that it was occurring and knowing what was going on behind the scenes is what had that greatest impact on me. Knowing that was happening and that was causing him to go down a path that he didn't want to go down either. He didn't want to go down it. It was just, he became a victim to it, and it happened that way for him.
How did that affect like family life with your mom and him?
They were always arguing, child support, this and that. Like there was.
So you didn't come from like a silver spoon.
No, not at all.
There wasn't a lot of money, and because a lot of people always think that, man. It's like I get it all the time. I'm sure you get it too. When you see some success, even though you've built it, people think, it's just daddy's money. It's just daddy's money.
Get it all the time.
Trust fund, baby. But like, no, dude, you built what you have.
100%.
It wasn't given to you.
No, my mom was making $15 an hour as a single mom raising 2 kids. It's like we were living at my grandparents' house at one point in time, living in like little apartments. Like we didn't have the glorious. I shouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah.
But I allowed myself to use what I learned and take lessons from those things. And God willingly, as a little kid, I was able to see this and shift something in my mind to actually use it versus being abused by it.
Yeah. I think there's so much behind that, like actually using experience in life to not be the victim, but to be the victor, right? everyone's circumstances are pretty much the same in America, like to an extent, right? If you've got a sound mind, if you've got 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 arms, 2 legs, for the most part, you have the same kind of opportunity as anybody, right? You have the same currency. I'm not dealing with a different currency than you,
Yep.
right? You have the same government. You have the same tax code. Everyone has these same circumstances, again, for the most part. You just decide how you take them.
Yes.
Right? And you can look at a setback as something that's really something that like, oh my God, woe is me. But here's the way I've always looked at this, and you can agree with me or not. There's a law of the universe called the law of polarity. And what that states is there's a up, there's a down, there's a left, there's a right, there's positive and a negative to everything. Literally, there's an opposite for everything. Even down to a little atom, there's a positive and a negative charge. Literally, everything has 2 sides. So if there's a negative circumstance, a negative outcome, a negative situation, there's also a positive somewhere in it. You just have to find it.
Exactly. You have to find it.
And that's up to you as the person. And it sounds like that's what you did at a young age.
Yeah. And that's the bottom line. It's like people talk about fate, like, and how I believe fate, there's different versions of ourselves, and each version has a different fate. Like there's a version of me that could have continued down that path and he had a fate. And there's a version of me who chose a different path and he had a fate as well. So we get to truly choose what lives. We are the creators of our own individual worlds. Like that's what it ultimately comes down to. God's the creator of the universal world. We're the creator of our individual worlds. And we get to choose how that's going to be by the actions that we take, by the things that we learn, by people we surround ourselves with. We choose
what we focus on, right?
Yes.
I talk about this not often on like social, but like in close circles. I talk about a lot of the reticular activating system, right? Do you know
100%.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm thinking about a red car, what am I going to see?
Red car everywhere.
Because that's not that those red cars weren't there before. It's just I'm thinking about it now. Like your brain cannot process everything at all times or you'd go insane. But if you focus or you think about something, you'll start seeing it. So if you're constantly putting in your brain things of success, things of growth, things of wealth, guess what's going to show up?
Growth, success, and wealth.
Because that's what you're looking for.
And people don't, and it's like people don't realize it to the core that it is. Like if you set a goal and you focus on that, your mind, what do we have, 60,000 thoughts a day or something, what science says? A minute, a day, an hour, something like
Probably
that.
a second.
Yeah. Our thoughts are going to lean more towards what we're putting our focus on. So those 60,000 thoughts, maybe for some people, automatic negative thoughts. We're programmed to have negative thoughts. But if you start to train yourself, now I'm going to focus on my goal. Now I'm going to see that. I'm going to focus on the positive. You're going to start to see opportunities that are already in front of you right now for all the positive.
100%. Dude, I want to run through a freaking wall right now. If everyone listening to this, if you guys are amped and juiced up, share this freaking episode. Go follow George, because I didn't really know this much about you until now. Dude, you're huge on mindset. Huge. And it makes sense because you had a mindset business prior.
Huge on it, yes.
Dude, that is incredible.
It's everything.
Mindset is everything.
It
If most people think that, we talked about this, like wealth and being rich and all this stuff, there's a difference between rich and wealthy. Most people think that is just, again, given to you or lucky, right? Truly wealthy people, truly rich people will tell you it's a mindset. Like
you have to create it. Yeah.
That's it. Like personally, I've been very broke, like bankrupt, $300 to my name. This was not too long ago, 6-7 years ago. I'm not a different person, kind of, I guess, different beliefs and different mindset now. My mindset is completely different from 31-year-old Devin. So my bank balance, or I shouldn't say bank balance because I don't keep much money in the bank. My whole life cash value balances are like crazy compared to 31. My bank balance was $300 because my mindset is different.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And I feel like money is a representation of your growth. And that's all it is. Like those are points towards your growth. If your money is increasing, you're growing. You're growing your ability to attract money into your life, attract the opportunities into your life. You're becoming worthy of it. And so many people want things this day and age, but they're not worthy of it yet. You have a basic worth. You're here. You're on this world. You were brought here by whatever you believe in. you're worthy of this, but you're not worthy of the next level things that you want. You're not worthy of the money that you want. You're not worthy of the relationships that you want. You're not worthy of the house you want, the car you want, the life you want. You have to make yourself worthy of that.
That's so good, dude.
Yeah.
That's so good. This is freaking amazing, bro. I love this conversation. I hope people are getting a lot of value from it. What you just said made me think about my wife. The lowest point in my life was I was 31 years old, $300 to my name, bankrupt, couldn't afford the apartment I was living in. I had to rent a room from a friend, Nathan Ricky. Shout out, Nathan. Love you, bro. Renting a room from him for like $400 a month. To afford it, I had to sell my bed. Had a mattress on the ground. Me and my daughter sleeping on a mattress. She was 9 years old.
Wow.
Full-time dad. Her mom had moved out of state, so I had her full-time.
Wow.
We're sleeping on a mattress. I had to sell most of my clothes, her toys, like rock bottom, right? And then I get my heart broken by this woman I think is the one. Dude, I start bawling to my daughter, like broke down, like had thoughts of suicide. Bro, dark time in my life. And I realized that it's because of me. I'm not working on me. I never worked on me. I never read a book. I never watched any like self-help stuff. Never. So I'm like, well, I just need to become better. I need to be worth more, worthy of these things, and I'll attract them.
Yes.
So I started reading. I started watching YouTube videos. I started listening to podcasts. Within 1 month of that breakdown, I met my wife.
Wow.
I was worthy of her.
Worthy of her.
So, dude, you saying that like struck that in me, and like I hope people are actually listening and it's resonating somehow with them. If you don't have what you want in your life, it's because
you're not worthy of it.
You're not worthy of it. Like tough love. You are not worthy of being a millionaire if you're not a millionaire. If I'm not worthy of being a billionaire, if I was, I'd be a billionaire. Right?
100%.
So do I want to become a billionaire? Kinda, sorta. I don't know. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't.
Is it necessary? I don't know. It's cool to check it off the box. Yeah.
But like, until I become worthy of it, I will not be one.
100%. And it's like, you get to choose. Do I want to put in the work to do that? Do I want to make the relationships? Do I want to build the businesses to create that? And that's going to increase your worth, the work on yourself, and then the work that you do externally as well.
Freaking love it, bro. Such a good conversation. So let's go into, this is actually a great lead into it, saying working on yourself. You did the silent retreat. When I hear silent retreat, I think like you can't speak. Is that true?
Can't speak, can't read, can't write, can't look at people in the eyes for 10 days.
So let's talk about that. Because like my thought is if you can't say anything, if you can't look at your phone, I'm guessing, right?
No phones. They take them all before you go in.
It's just you.
Yeah.
It's just you.
Just
you and your thoughts.
And they strip everything. So like even exercise, you're not allowed to exercise. You're not allowed to do anything. So everything that I've been doing since I was born, pretty much to an extent, I couldn't do any longer.
When was this?
This was probably 4 years ago.
Okay.
5 years ago, something like that.
And where's this at? Where's the silent retreat?
They actually, so it's called Vipassana, and they have it all over the country. It originated from India. They have it all over the country. Luckily enough, it was actually in the state that I was living in, New Jersey, at that time. It was about 3 hours from where I lived at like a camp, so it worked out perfect. I went there because I wanted to kill off the old version of myself, and that's why I do everything. Ayahuasca, Kokoro, Navy SEAL training, Vipassana, so I can kill the old version of myself. And I knew I was holding on to things, and I knew that this was going to lead to my next level of growth that I desired. 10 days in silence, like that's a lot. Like that's scary. You're stepping away from everything. It's uncomfortable.
Most people can't do 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
In silence.
I know. It's crazy. When I get there, one of the guys is telling me who did it previously. He's like, yeah, last time I did it, I wanted to commit suicide. I'm like, all right, probably not the thing you should be telling people when they're first getting here.
For sure.
Thanks, though. And I did it because I had another friend that did it, and he said everything else in life became simple after he did that. And I'm always after that. Like, how can I have that edge in life, and how can I have that edge in just my growth? So I'm like, let's do it. Like, let's take on the challenge. Let's kill the old version of me. When you're sitting there in silence, and I made sure to sit there and to be with myself and not move. There was times where you could get up and you can stop your meditation session, because you would sit there for, I don't know what it was, maybe like 8 hours at a time, something of that sort. And I made sure not to budge an inch. And afterward, people were telling me, they're like, I can't believe you didn't move at all. I wanted to sit there and feel the pain, because they were also saying The pain that's moving through your body, if you allow yourself to sit with it, it's the mental pain, and you're going to see the stories and feel the things that you felt throughout your life that you've been holding on to that you don't even realize are in there, unconscious things. So I made sure to sit there and not feeling the pain, everything moving through me. And it truly did make me, one, appreciate life so much more. There's a blacktop, and we were able to go outside, and there was like little worms on the blacktop, and it was starting to get sunny. I would like pick them up and put them on the grass so they didn't burn. You look at airplanes, and you're like, that's just amazing. There's people in there. Like, you appreciate the little things, and you also took on such a big challenge. You understand yourself so much more. So when you step out of it, one, as soon as you step out of it, I didn't even want to look at my phone at first, but I'm like, I know I have to. I need to step into the real world. You have equanimity. That was one of the things that were built in me. Equanimity, it's being in control of your emotions, right? Not getting too excited and throwing you off and like you getting so caught up in something, or not getting too upset or too angry or too mad about something. Like, being equanimable is just being at peace with the things around you. And that truly created that within me, having a peaceful state. So if something's happening here, I'm like, cool. If it's good, if it's bad, cool. Awesome. Now, I get excited about things. I'm not like this monk that's sitting in whatever, but I can understand what it is and not let it overcome my emotions, or not let my emotions get overwhelmed, because I built this equanimity within myself. And that was one of the most powerful things I got from that. So going into business, going into relationships, I can be even keel. I think that's what they say.
Even keel.
Even keel. There you go.
It's not like Keenan Peele.
Yeah, no, after I said it, I'm like, Keenan Peele? No, that's not it. I was going to say that at first. Even keel about anything.
Yeah.
And that's such a skill set that's developed, and such just a skill that should be developed in everyone. It's so powerful.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yes.
Like, I do this almost every day. I shouldn't skip, but sometimes I just do. I meditate.
Yes.
And I generally do it in the morning. So I wake up, drain the snake, brush my teeth, and then I go either write down my goals first and then meditate, or meditate and then write down my goals. Then I write them down again later on in the day. So a couple things. If you write down your goals as if they've already happened, that's important, because then you're visualizing it and you're putting it into existence. You're manifesting those goals. Instead of saying, I want this, I will be this, I will have that. It's always out there. Make them right now.
Yes.
So I do them multiple times to make them more in the forefront. Reticular activating system, get that thing firing. It's so important to meditate. I cannot stress the importance of it, because guys, if you can't sit with yourself for 10 minutes without checking your phone, without doing something but just sitting and focusing on your breath, you're basically saying you're not comfortable with yourself. And think about this. Most people want success. They want the perfect life. They want all these things. Ed Milet says it best. When you get those things, you have to bring you with you, right?
100%.
You get the mansion. You're sitting on the Italian leather couch. You got to bring you with you to that couch. And if you don't love and appreciate yourself, because you don't know yourself, because you never sit but with yourself in silence, you're going to be miserable.
Yes.
So, dude, I freaking love it. You sat for 10
days. Yes. And like, just touch on what you said, quote, wherever you are, there you go. So like, you can go travel, you can go anywhere, you can go be in a relationship. You're still bringing that same version of yourself. So that's still going to come out. Meditating every single morning is so important. And anyone who wants to get into it but thinks they can't, start with Headspace. That's what I did. I started, this was probably back in 2015.
Is that an app?
5 minutes for 5 days, 10 minutes for 10 days, 15 minutes for 15 days. It takes you through, and you start to grow, and they walk you through. It's a guided meditation. Amazing way to get started. And it creates a habit for you.
That's what I started with was, I forget the app. It was, I think it was Mindful.
Mindful, yeah, that's another one.
I think that's what it was. But it's guided, so it's timed. You can pick minute meditations, 2 minute, 3 minute, all the way up to like an hour. And it just guides you through it. And then eventually you don't need the guiding, and you can just have like soft music in the background, and just, you can just be.
Yes.
So many people, like, think about, we are human beings, and most people aren't being, they're doing.
Yes.
Another great episode was the last episode with Rafael Cortez. Listen to that one if you haven't. He talks about, we are human beings. You need to sometimes just be instead of doing all the time, right?
Yes.
We're always chasing the next
100%.
thing. This is something that's interesting, is a lot of people try to do things to save more time, right? So they'll become more efficient in their business. They'll cut out certain things so they can save time. But then they don't enjoy that time. They pack it with more things to do. Instead of just, all right, I've cut down and saved an hour and a half of my day. Why don't you just sit and be?
Yes. And that gives you the ability to step into a creative mind as well. Like you're stepping into the feminine energy. We have masculine and feminine energy. When you're just being, when you allow yourself to go walk on nature and do those things, now you're stepping into the feminine energy, which is the creative energy. Now you can get these thoughts for all the work you've been putting in, the things that you're learning, the thoughts start to come to you. Thoughts from infinite intelligence that you not even aware of. They start to come to you, and they say 1 hour of inner work is worth 5 hours of outer work. I don't know what those studies are and where that is.
Inner work, so working on yourself opposed to like working on your body.
Thinking versus like just doing. Being versus doing pretty much is what they're saying. And it's, I mean, what you can get, like when you focus on your goals and like you can just do and you're in a negative mindset, you're going to create more of that. The energy that you're doing something with is the energy that you're going to receive back from it. But if you allow yourself to meditate prior to, get clear in your goals, focus on that, then you take the action. How much more productive are you going to be? How much faster are you going to achieve those goals that you're after?
I love it. Guys, this is such a good conversation. It really is, bro. I wish we could go forever. I think we're almost at about time. But so you guys know, again, George is one of like my clients, if you will, with Infinite Banking. So how many policies now? Two.
Second one.
So second one's like just got approved. So George and I have actually talked over the phone several times. He'll have questions about his policy, how it works, what he can do with it. And I think I'm pretty quick about getting back. Sometimes a little slower.
No, you're quick.
Just because, doing this or out with the wife. But I try to respond really quick. I think in business, the faster you can respond to an extent, there has to be boundaries. But the faster you can respond, just doing that will set you apart in business because client service is a thing of the past. Most companies have horrible client service. And a lot of client service is like, if you have a question, you've got the question now, you want it answered now. There's a reason why there's fast food and the reason why Starbucks has a drive-through.
Yes.
You want answers now.
Yes.
Not in a day, 2 days, 3 days.
Like speed, Amazon.
Right. So I always try to get back fast. It wasn't my point. My point was I've never met him in person until today. And dude, I can tell we're going to be homies,
For
bro.
sure.
Like,
for sure.
I love you, bro. Your
you too,
mind,
man.
the way you think. And I can't stress enough, like, people should re-listen to this episode a few times. There's a ton of nuggets.
Take notes.
Share with people. Go follow George on all platforms, which again, what are those?
So we got Instagram, George Wohar, the number 4. Facebook, the same thing. I think TikTok, George Wohar IV, because I'm the 4th. Couldn't have the same username. I don't know why. And then pages, mobilehomesuccess.com/training would be the best way over there.
Perfect. Funny story for you, bro. I guess maybe it's not funny. I think it's kind of funny.
Might be.
So a lot of people know that like I've got a kid on the way. So excited about it. It's in less than 2 months now.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you, dude. Little girl. But like we were talking about this. I was wanting a boy.
Yes.
Like I've already got my daughter. She's gonna be 16, having another baby 16 years apart, which is crazy. I'm excited for the little girl, but I wanted a little boy. So I had names picked out. Like it was gonna be Devin Neal Burr Jr. That's what it was gonna be.
Sealing it. Yep.
And my wife Danielle, she's like, "No, we're not doing that." I'm like, "Yes, we are." Like, it's the only thing I want is him to be junior. And dude, she hits me with, "But juniors, it's usually just like black people." I'm like, "No,
that's not how it works. Maybe they're what they call them."
she's like, "I'm not racist." I'm like, "I know you're not racist, but like, no, there's plenty of white guys that are juniors that are the second. Is it second junior?
Junior second, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So your
I'm the
grandpa is junior.
Yes.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it is wild. And that's my thing. I'm committed to, if I have a son, George Wohar the 5th. I don't care. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's the 5th. Or we agreed, my girlfriend and I, that we're going to call him Quinn. It's like a little name, not George. Not going to call him, first we said Cinco. Like, no, Cinco's not feeling it. But Quinn is like, that means 5.
That's kind of dope though,
yeah,
Cinco.
Cinco is cool.
That's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm going to start calling you Quattro.
Perfect. There you go.
But dude, wifey was like, we can have, here's her thing. Her dad, his middle name is Nicholas.
Okay.
So like his dad, middle name was Nicholas. So that's kind of the thing, is Nicholas.
Yeah.
Her brother, my wife's brother, had a son, middle name was Nicholas. So she's like, the middle name has to be Nicholas. And I'm like, no.
It's not Junior then.
She's like, well, it can be Devin Nicholas Burr Jr. I'm like, then that's not Junior.
It defeats the purpose. It's not a Junior.
I thought it was funny. If you guys thought it was funny, great. Maybe
Unless you
don't.
change your middle name to Nicholas.
It's
you
not
get that on
happening.
your birth certificate.
Because I don't like that name. I think Nicholas is a weird name. No offense to you Nicholases out there. But dude, so much fun chatting with you. I think, one, people should share this like crazy. Two, they should follow you on all social media platforms. Definitely look into your coaching, right, to get into mobile homes. Mobile home parks, I know, is something you're really heavy on right now.
Yes.
Why would you be when that first guy said 168 million?
Exactly.
Makes sense why you'd want to get into those.
100%.
So guys, go follow him. Reach out to him if you want help on everything mobile home, everything mindset, dude. I've learned a lot from you today. So I appreciate you. Maybe we'll have you back on again once
sure.
you've, how many mobile home parks do you have any right now?
I have one under contract right now.
Okay.
So after I get my first couple, then let's do it again.
Yeah, because you've got rentals right now, just not single family mobile home rentals, like
Seller finance. So single families that are being seller financed right now.
Into
where they're
mobile
making
home.
payments. Yeah.
right. So you've got those, but not the park.
Not the park.
Park
yet.
is
Yes.
where it gets like.
I have one park under contract. There's been a lot of issues with that one. That's a topic for a different discussion there.
Yeah.
Go deep on that. But yeah.
So
park's the
dude,
next-
let's get a few of those under your belt. Let's get you some more infinite banking policies so you can fund those
keep
parks.
stacking them.
Dude, it's going to get crazy. I'm up to 12.
Wow.
12.
Wow.
You're
How
gonna-
fast did you get your 12?
So I've been in it for 4 years.
4 years.
So the first year I had 4 because I saw the power of it. I'm like, I need one, wifey needs one, daughter needs one. I got a second one on myself. I got one on my dad now, my mom. Daughter has 3 policies.
Wow.
Wifey has 3. Soon to be daughter's going to have one as soon as she's born. So that's going to
That's awesome.
freaking
Setting them
nuts.
up like that.
So yeah, dude, let's freaking have you on again. Just let's get some mobile home parks under your belt.
Let's get it.